In this episode, I had the privilege of speaking with Jinghan or Jihan, who is a remarkable Chinese revert. Now, she's hardworking, she's witty, and she always shares valuable gems about Islam, which are really very eye-opening. What I truly admire about her is how she ties her personal stories to Allah's decree so beautifully, showing the purpose and wisdom in every step of her journey. Now, Jihan is also an influencer. I have given in to buying things that she recommends many times because her picks are always spot on. Now, I also love her stories about her family, her relationship with her in-laws, and also the heartfelt ones about her father. So, and if that's not enough, we also talked about her latest venture, a home-based business selling sambal petai, a Malay dish that she has mastered to perfection. So let's join us as we dive into her inspiring journey, her reflections on faith and family, and how she's embracing her new chapter as a sambal petai entrepreneur. So you're going to love this one. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Hidden Pearls Inspiring Stories. Now today I'm very excited to have a mother of two. She's an influencer. I feel that she's an influencer. She's known for sharing thoughtful recommendations, and she is a Muslim revert as well, and now the owner of a sambal petai business. So I feel that Jinghan beautifully embraces and honors the Malay culture, which complements her journey in Islam. So today, let's dive in and welcome Jihan.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm very humble to have you with me, Jinghan. I must tell you that I am like a fan of yours. That sometimes when you share Shopee links, I'll be the one contributing to your because I will buy the toxic patches on the feet and all that. So thank you for being here with us.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Okay. Now, Jihan, we know you as Jihan now, right? So can you share with us how the old Jinghan was? I mean, pre-Muslim. Give us a sneak peek of you then.
Oh, okay. So the old Jinghan, she was just a very happy-go-lucky person. She was someone who enjoyed studying. Yeah, so the love for knowledge was there since I was young. So I really enjoyed studying. Uni was the best time of my life where I got to explore like a lot of different types of like the different because I'm actually a science student, but uni gave me the opportunity to go into arts and all of that. Yeah. Really not much. I'm just a very typical girl. Yeah, I would say. My relationship with my family is also quite typical of a Chinese family. Not so
Share
affectionate.
with us more. Oh, okay. Share with us more about your family. You know, your parents and your siblings. How many have you got?
Oh, okay. So I have my father, I have my mom, and I just have another sister who is 7 years younger than me. Yeah. So our whole life, we actually stayed with my grandma. Yeah. So I grew up with my grandma, and I don't know. I feel that um, actually framed a lot of how I viewed life, and I've seen like how my parents took care of my grandma when I was young. So for me, when I was like looking for a husband, right, my top criteria was actually for my husband to be a very filial son, because I've seen how my father and my mom, really like they really devoted their entire life to caring for my grandma. Yeah. So
Oh, that's nice.
yeah, so they
So,
really set an example for me, and I don't know. I feel like it really subconsciously it really raised me and really like instilled the kind of values that made me the person that I am today.
and it led you to meeting the love of your life, your husband,
Yeah. Yeah.
who has welcomed you to embrace Islam.
Mm.
Am I right to say this?
Yes, correct, correct.
Oh,
So
even
my
even the birds are
husband,
chirping back end,
yeah,
yeah, to endorse
yeah.
that.
No, Alhamdulillah, yeah. So my husband was actually my first exposure to Islam, I would say, because when I was young, I went to a convent for primary school, and then for secondary school, I actually went to a Chinese school. So basically, there were no Malays and no Indians there, so it's a pure Chinese school. It was only in JC where I actually had more interactions with like students of uh, uh, differing faith. Yeah, and that was when I actually had an understanding and a recognition that actually people have different faiths. Yeah. So when I was younger, actually, I wasn't really very um, perceptive lah about the differences in
Mm,
faith when I was younger because
mm,
of my environment. Mm.
so it was very eye opening for you then.
Yes, yes, yes. So in JC was actually when I started to build my religious identity. In that I identified as an atheist. Yeah, because that was
Oh.
when I because JC you get to choose, right, like the
Mm-hmm,
subjects that you take. I went
mm-hmm.
pure science, so I'm actually a biology student. I love biology. Yeah, I still love it till
Right.
today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. Is JC where you met your husband?
no, 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 it wasn't. So it was only in uni, third year of uni,
Mhm.
when I met my husband. Yeah.
Okay. Same course.
Yes, life sciences.
And so you dated for a while. So did you
Mm.
face any you know, parents expressing unhappiness that you are not only dating a boy from another race but also another religion? So any setbacks for you then when you
Oh,
were young? Mm.
Alhamdulillah, for me, I think of all the reverts I've met, my parents are the most accepting. Alhamdulillah, they are just like mashallah. Yeah. So
Mashallah.
initially, when I started dating my husband,
Mm-hmm.
I thought to break it to my father first, because he's more like,
Okay.
yeah, he's just generally more
Receptive.
open minded. Mm.
I see. Okay.
So actually, I just came back from a field trip, a field
Mm-hmm.
studies module in Tioman. And then I basically told him, like, Papa, I have something to tell you. Because this was also my first relationship. Then I said, I think I got a
Mm-hmm.
boyfriend.
Oh.
And he was like, oh, got boyfriend. Then I said, but he's not very handsome, He's also not very tall. He's shorter than me. Then he said, oh, never mind, never mind. Like, good heart is enough, enough. And I said, but he's Muslim, eh. Then he was like taken aback for a while, but after that he said, no, it doesn't matter as long as his heart is good. So from the start, no judgment at all. And actually
Wow.
pretty soon after that, he gave me the confidence to actually let them meet each other. Yeah, very, very soon after that. And the first thing he said to my husband then was like, you want to borrow my car? You want to go out? You can just use my car. Yeah, he's just a very my father, mashallah,
He's
he's just a very
yeah, he's a
non-judgmental person.
sweetheart.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. And the funny thing is because
Mm.
he actually sent me off at the airport for this what's that, YEP. It's a youth expedition
Mm-hmm.
program. So basically,
Okay.
we signed up to go to Borneo to help in some reforestation efforts. Yeah, so all of us were
Okay.
just like nature lovers lah. So my
Mm-hmm.
father sent me off at the airport, and then my husband was there. Yeah, we don't know each other yet. Then he
Mm-hmm.
saw this guy with a mullet, the hair until here, until his neck. Then look like those like abang rocker like that. He was thinking to himself, wow, this is a university program, and wow, got such people on, so like havoc like that. He said he thought to himself, better my daughter don't marry this kind of person. But then after that, when I brought him to meet, right, then he had a flashback, like, hey, this is the boy I saw at the airport. But he never ever he never expressed it, and he was just so accepting of my husband when he saw him.
Oh,
Yeah, so really very impressed with how my father is so open minded. and
Yeah,
big-hearted.
and because of that, I'm sure it led to your mom having to go with the flow to be receptive with your choice.
Yeah. So initially,
Right.
actually, my mom came from a very good place in her heart lah. She was just
Yeah.
thinking to herself
Agree.
like, oh, if my daughter has to be Muslim, she has to fast, she has to pray, she has to wear the
Mm,
hijab. Is it going to be too
mm,
tough for her? Like she was just worried that I wouldn't be able to adapt to that kind of lifestyle. And then she didn't want that for me lah. She just wants me to be happy all the time, right? She doesn't want me to struggle
yeah.
in life ever. Yeah.
Mm,
So when she was talking to me, that's all she was actually trying to put across to me, saying that you must think carefully. Now you may be in love, but love might not sustain you all the time. So if
mm-hmm.
you and to her, it's like once I commit to it, she doesn't want me to like half-ass it lah. Yeah,
Mm,
out of respect for other people's faith, right? So she said, if you're really
yes.
willing to commit, then you have to be ready to follow through. Yeah.
Mm,
And my mother, Alhamdulillah, eventually after I converted, right, and I started wearing the hijab, she actually went on YouTube to look for, those hijab tutorials. Yeah. And then because I told her I was having a hard time matching, because last time I would just match my top with my bottom, right? But then now I had the
mm.
hijab and all of that. And then I told her that sometimes my color like doesn't match. So she actually looked up tutorials on YouTube, and she said it's okay. Mommy will learn, and then I will try to style you lah. Yeah. So that was my
Oh
mom.
my goodness, she's like your hijab stylist, and I feel
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
that's her love language
Yes,
for
correct.
of acceptance.
Yes,
Oh, that's
yes,
so
yes.
beautiful. I mean, this is a site that I've never we've never heard
Mm,
of. So thank you for this beautiful insight about your mother too, Jinghan. I mean,
mm,
I'm a fan of your father because I can see as I bear witness as well that he's very kind and accepting. So I love whatever stories that you updated about him. So it's lovely. But to hear this side of your mom is equally
mm,
precious as well. So
yeah.
thank you so much. And besides the parents, when you got married, right? Did you
Mhm.
face any disapproval from relatives? Because relatives can be our naysayers too. So how do you even like tackle that?
Oh, Alhamdulillah. All my relatives were very, very accepting of my husband as well. Like the first time one of my uncles saw my husband come into the house, he opened his arms so wide and said, "Hey, welcome, welcome to the family." They are just I don't know. I'm really, really blessed. Yeah, with my family throughout my entire conversion journey. Nobody ever expressed any disapproval or said something nasty to me. I think I was the one that was actually hindering my own journey in Islam at the time because I found it very difficult to reconcile my faith and my love for
Mm,
science. Yeah, but
mm,
beyond that, the people around me were extremely supportive. And my grandma, like I told you, I was living with my grandma at that time.
mhm,
She
mhm.
was such a sweetheart as well. So the first time she met Aizat, right, my husband, Aizat, like, kissed, salam lah, right? So kissed
Yep,
her hand,
yep,
right? And then
yep.
after that, she went to tell every single one of her kids, which are my auntie and uncles, that, oh, I have a new like son-in-law to be, and he's very good. I get like kisses on my hand from him because I mean it's not a Chinese thing lah. So it was very new to her, and she thought it was very sweet. So after that, when in the subsequent times when my husband visited, he would like kiss her here, kiss her here. Ah, she loved it. She loved it so much. Yeah, and
Oh,
she loves my husband a lot as well. Yeah, she's also
your
very
grandma.
accepting. My
This is your
grandma, yeah,
grandma, mashallah. Now,
yeah.
speaking of grandmas, it also reminded me of my sister-in-laws. I mean, my
Mm,
sister-in-law, just like you, is a revert as well. She's
mm,
Chinese, and you are right. When they embrace the religion, when they embrace the family, not only did she embrace my brother, I felt that she also embraced the siblings like myself, because when we just launched our Palista Grey Away color shampoo, she was one of my first few customers, my sister-in-law's
oh,
grandma. to tell my brother, hey, I saw on Instagram your sister launched this one. I also want to do it. And I thought that, oh my God, I'm blown away. So I feel you when you say that, you're very touched when so-called, your people that you think would disapprove would receive and support you in ways that are that you cannot describe lah. The joy is just so immense.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
so
Yeah.
nice. So
And I
thank you
think a
for
lot of it.
ah
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I just
go
want
on.
to say, like, I think like
Sure.
a lot of it comes from their trust in me, lah. Because they love me so much, they trust in me so much. So, one thing that my father actually said when I told him that, my this new boyfriend is actually Malay and Muslim, he just said like, it's okay, I trust you. Yeah, and that is so reassuring. Yeah, yeah. So they said that they trust basically they are saying they trust my judgment, and so they fully support whatever I decide.
Yeah, so it makes you and your husband it gives you that motivation to make sure that this will work
Yes.
because they gave you the trust. Wow.
Yes.
Now speaking of your father, right?
Mm.
You really meant it, right? When you said that, oh, one day, because every time you will end with, "May Allah give hidayah to my
Mm.
father." You really meant it, lah. You really is he? Do you think like okay? What's your feel? Do you think he will one day embrace
Well,
Islam?
yes, I
Huh?
yakin.
Really?
Yes,
Are you
he will.
yakin? Mashallah.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, I'm getting a bit emotional, but there are just so many people, so many nice people that when they go
Yeah.
for Umrah, they will DM me and ask for my father's name
Oh. Wow.
so that they can say his
Wow.
name in front of the Kaaba for him to be granted hidayah.
Right.
And I think that's really the nicest thing that anyone can ever do for me.
Mashallah.
Yeah. And then
Mashallah.
like I have a best friend who also
Mhm.
converted to Islam, I think last year, or yeah, I think sometime last year. And mm, the first thing that I told her was to pray for my father to be granted hidayah, because she's like a fresh slate, right? I mean, I'm
Mhm.
very stale already lah as a convert, but she was a
Don't
fresh
say
convert.
that.
So yeah, there are people who are actually reciting his name in front of the Kaaba. I don't believe that Allah will deny it.
Wow, mashallah. This is so beautiful, and I pray that Allah will grant hidayah to your beloved dad, because as it is his internal, like, outward behavior and internal behavior is so a lot of Muslim virtues lah, Islamic, which is
Yeah.
alhamdulillah sangat-sangat.
Mm.
Saya tengok sampai kita cakap Melayu, because I'm so overwhelmed too with your emotions. Wow. But has your father like given you some signs that,
Indication.
yeah, indication that he is interested?
Okay. So let me tell you a
Okay.
story about my father. Okay. So
Okay.
basically, when he was young, actually, he's someone who believes in religion. And as I've said before in my post, right, he actually always wants religion for his kids. He doesn't care what religion that we actually believe in, but he feels that religion is something that will give us a kind of a permanent guidance, which he won't be able to do when he passes on. So, like his feeling is that, when my kids are young, I still can protect them, I still can guide them, I still can, advise them on what to do with their life. But when I'm gone, then where will they get their guidance? And to him, religion, regardless of which religion, will actually provide that kind of guidance that he wishes for us to have. So when he was younger, he is actually someone who is quite spiritual. So he actually sought religion for himself. Yeah, so he actually went to churches, went to temples, seeking that
Mhm.
connection with God.
Mhm.
So he told me this story lah when I was telling him that I was deciding to convert to Islam. And he said that during that period while he was searching for a religion for himself, right, he was seeking that connection with God. Yeah. So he would do everything like properly, he would pray before his meals and whatever that was like required of the religion. But then he said that at the end of it, he felt that he couldn't find that connection with God, and therefore he sort of like gave up on it. So when I told him that, I think I want to convert like I'm going to recite the Shahada and then I'm going to become Muslim. He just asked me one question. He just say, do you feel that connection with your Allah? And I say, yes. Then he said, okay, very good. Then just go for it. Yeah. Because to him, that connection is the most important. But unfortunately for him, when he was searching for it in his youth, right, he didn't find it. So now, he hears a lot of things from me. He hears a lot of things from my daughter as well. Every single week when they meet, my daughter will say, Akong, you want to convert to Islam or not? Every week she will do da'wah. Really, really, really. And then my father
Your
will
daughter
relate to
doing
me.
da'wah on your father.
Yes, yes. Because my mother-in-law, right, she will tell my daughter, like, Masha, you must tell Akong to convert. Then after that, she will tell her all the things. And then my daughter will then go to my father's house and then repeat all the things. So actually, my father is very tickled by it. And I feel that, internally, I feel that he's very suited to be Muslim. But I think, at his age, he feels that he has this perception that Islam is very hard. He feels it's going to be very tough. So he feels that it's going to be hard for him to,
Catch
comply with
up.
a halal diet. Praying 5 times a day, he feels that it will be very, very hard for him. And yeah, so that is the thing that is holding him back, which is just the practical, the physical acts of worship, which we all know is just that is like the most
Basic.
no, it's like that doesn't matter as long as you have the belief, and
That's
then you
right.
convert, then Allah will make it easy for you. That's what I've experienced for myself, right? I was also very afraid of fasting. I was also very afraid of praying 5 times a day. But the day I converted, Allah just eases for you, and then you can suddenly just pray the 5 times a day. Yeah, so that is the thing that I've been trying to put across, but I also don't want to be pushy. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but I think
I
you're
understand.
you're you're leading a great example with your sharings and all that. I have never seen you as being pushy. I feel that you have a very nurturing kind of character. So I hope slowly he will buy in that.
Yeah, I really hope one day, like I've said before, like uh when I was doing my umrah last year, and I did my sujud in front of the Kaaba, right? That is a time usually where we will make lots and lots of du'as for ourselves, for our family. But all the scene that keeps playing in my mind was just like when I rise up from my sujud, I would turn around and I would see my father rise up from his sujud as well. So
Oh,
for Allah to put that image in my mind, I'm sure that He will grant it, inshallah.
I mean, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I also would like to give credit to your other half, your husband, because I feel that he has also done a wonderful job to guiding you to be such a beautiful Muslimah, Jinghan. You know,
MashaAllah.
you really don't you really make Islam, I wouldn't say make Islam look easy, but you really put our religion in such a beautiful light that love is patient, love is kind. So I feel that credit should be given to your husband.
Definitely. Like he was really my door to Islam. And to be honest, Islam really changed my life. Yeah. So
Masya
yeah, all credits to him and also his family. His family is so beautiful as well. Yeah.
Right. Is it okay? Now we are moving on to your husband and his family. So are they the backbone for your sambal petai business?
Yes.
Because
So
okay,
they
this is okay. Okay, because okay, now again, like I come from the view of your follower, right? Now you are a Chinese, you are a revert.
Ideally, if you would do a food business, I would think you're going to do some halal bakute, but then bam, you surprised us all with sambal petai.
But
Petai, which
yes.
some Malays like myself don't even eat, but I will support you out because of you lah. I will
Oh,
one day try out this dish.
oh,
So go on.
inshallah. You don't eat
May I
pad
know his
thai?
name? I don't eat
You don't.
petai.
Oh,
I've
it's so
never really tried
nice.
petai. Oh, is it? Oh, you like petai?
Really?
Is it? I'm
I
sure
love
you tested
that.
petai from your in-laws. Is it?
No, so
Oh,
actually, okay, let me tell you the story about my love for petai. So
okay.
it started when I was very young. So it was like, I think in primary school. Yeah, my father would always buy me nasi lemak for supper, and there will always be this like petai dish. It was a sambal petai, and my father and mother they love it. So it was then that I developed a liking for petai, and I actually ate it throughout my entire life. So when I was in secondary school, right, uh, I could eat like 3 bowls of rice, white rice with just sambal petai. I love it. It's so delicious. I don't understand why people don't like it. It's so nice. Yeah. So so after I converted, okay, so basically when we cook petai, right, we use something called hebi hiam. Hebi hiam is something like a dried shrimp paste. Yeah. But then the halal versions of it in the supermarket, right, is not very nice. Yeah. So for a while I actually struggled to enjoy it again. Yeah. And it was not until I got the TM, the Thermomix, that I actually had the courage to try and experiment on making my own sambal. Yeah, and then that was when I actually developed that recipe, and then my parents loved it, so they were like, "Yeah, very nice, very nice." So, my mom, she actually told me to make tubs of the sambal for her to keep in her fridge so that she could cook it with other vegetables. Yeah. And then she will go to Batam and then buy me like half a kilo of petai, and then she'll tell me, you cook leh, you cook the sambal petai. So, then I thought like maybe got potential. Like even my mom, she's a very fussy eater. Yeah, she's quite picky. But then if she says something is nice, it's nice. so so that
Of
really
course.
gave me the confidence to try and sell it lah. And I know I've been looking for it uh, after I converted, but because of how
Mm-hmm.
tedious it is to
Mm-hmm.
prepare, yeah, uh, not a lot of sellers sell it, or they do it like twice a year. Yeah. So I thought like, okay lah, try to make it more available, see if anybody will buy. Yeah. And alhamdulillah, my followers like so supportive. Mm. So they bought
Oh
my
my
sambal
God.
petai. Mm.
Okay, so what is the most surprising part of this journey, this like accidental sambal petai journey?
Oh, that like trying to build a business is not really a entrepreneurial journey, but more of a spiritual journey for me. Yeah.
Wow.
And that actually I have a history. Okay, so when I first converted, right, I actually tried to start a business, and it failed very miserably lah. So
Okay.
it was always at the back of my mind to try and start another business, but because of how badly it went, the
What
failed
business was
venture
that
went.
previous?
It was just like because that time I
Mm,
just converted, and I found it very
okay.
difficult to get Muslim products. So
Okay.
I thought I would build a platform that would allow
Mm-hmm.
vendors from around the world to list their products so that Muslim
Wow.
converts around the world can buy from that platform. But it's
Well,
like
that's
not for someone
that's
like
actually
me
a
to do.
brilliant idea though.
Yeah, but I think it was too big for me lah. I really couldn't do
Mm,
it. I
right.
poured in a lot of money in it. I quit my
Right.
job to do it. Then
Mm-hmm.
it failed. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
I always have this like fear of going into it again.
I
But
see.
somehow with this, right, I did it very
Mm-hmm.
differently this time. So
Okay.
last time when I was trying to do that business, right, I consulted a lot of business gurus lah, mentors lah. I went to find
Mm-hmm.
SMCCI lah, and I engaged some business coach to try and help me to develop this business. And in the end, nothing worked out. So this time I tried something different. So I don't go for like business tips anymore. I just go to the Quran and see what must I do so that my business will be blessed with barakah and rezeki. Yeah. So I just did that. Yeah. So
MashaAllah.
really I didn't all the conventional business wisdom I didn't follow. I just followed what the Quran and the Hadith said. Yeah. I just try to follow it as true as I can, as far as I can. And Alhamdulillah, I think the results are far more amazing than when
Rewarding.
yeah. And
Wow.
this really like built that connection that I have with Allah. So instead of, uh, making sure that I hit my business targets or milestones, right, in a day, I
Mhm.
make sure I do uh, my my solat duha. I make sure I read
Yeah.
surah waqi'ah. I make sure that I fulfill all my obligations to Allah first before I think about my obligations to my business. And I feel that that has opened a lot of doors for me. And I think that he places a lot of barakah and rizki in your business if you put him first lah. So basically what my husband said was like, we think that as business owners, we are the boss, right? But no, actually
Mm.
you have one boss and that boss is Allah. You please him and then your business will be successful lah, inshallah. Mm.
MashaAllah. I'm in awe. I'm in awe because I believe you. I feel that you are right. That it all goes back to our Creator. So He is the
Yeah.
one who will give us the blessings and the barakah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You will hear from me soon with regards to the order for sambal petai.
Petai,
Okay, now
okay.
there are two different sambal somehow. Got green sambal, sambal hijau, and a
Mm.
normal red sambal. Yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
that's very good. You are diversifying the petai business some
Yes.
more.
Yes.
Well done.
Inshallah.
Well done. Inshallah. Now, how are your daughters doing? You have two daughters. In fact,
Mm.
occasionally still I will go to your hashtag letters to Marsha because that's how you actually
Ah.
started with social
Mm.
media. Don't stop on that because I think now your
Mm.
hashtag got to change a bit lah.
Yes.
Letters to Marsha and your
Sha
your
and Aisha.
your your
Yeah.
two girls lah kan?
Mm.
Yeah. So how are they? Tell me about them, and how do you instill Islamic values in them, because they will have a lot of questions for you, like they will when they are older. You are
Mm.
Chinese, dad is Malay, then how do you revert and whatnot. So tell me about them
Mm.
and the religion.
Mm. So Alhamdulillah, I always say that I have a kampong that is really
Mm.
supporting me in this entire journey. And I really give credit to my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my sisters-in-law, who really built a very conducive and nurturing Islamic environment for my kids to grow up in. So I don't know if it's sad, but actually my kids identify more as Malays than Chinese. Yeah, because
Oh.
of the environment that they
Mhm.
that they that they grew up in. But I
Mhm.
see that, Islam is just is essentially a part of them lah. So basically I still stay with my in-laws, right? And then
Mhm.
my sister-in-laws, they both bring their kids to my mother-in-law's house every day lah,
Okay.
basically. So
Mhm.
there will be like eight children running around in the house. And there's a lot of fights. It's very noisy. And it's very cute when you hear them, like, they will quarrel over something
Mhm.
and then they will say things like, then I will get the Jannah one. That I will get when I go to Shurga, that kind of thing. And it's like,
Mm.
mashallah, I'm not the one who taught them this, but really it's my
Right.
in-laws who create the environment for them. And it's
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
beautiful. Yeah, I'm really, really
Mhm.
like so indebted to my in-laws.
Nice, like the end goal is always Jannah, instilling from
Yeah.
young. The end goal
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah.
always Jannah.
Yeah, and then for things like, my mother-in-law wants them to solat with us, like solat jama'ah with us, right? Then sometimes they don't want to solat lah, they want to play and all that. Then after that, my mother-in-law will say like, okay, solat, those who solat together will fly to Jannah together. Those that don't solat will kena tinggal. Yeah, then after that, all the kids will come and then they will pray together. So it's
Yeah.
beautiful lah. Yeah, yeah. Very blessed.
Beautiful and no fear, no not inducing fear like, oh, if you tinggal solat you go to hell. No, it's not. It's just you kena tinggal. I like that. I'm
Mm,
probably
mm,
going to
mm.
adopt that. that kind of
Oh,
friends
mashallah.
to my young
Mm-hmm.
children. Okay, better you want to fly together with Jannah or you kena tinggal. That's it.
Mm,
I never say,
yeah.
oh, whatever. Don't scare them. Don't scare the children.
Mm,
No, your
yeah.
girls, right? Yeah, okay. So they identify themselves more as Malays and all.
Mm.
But what about Chinese New Year? Do they go to your parents' place for Chinese New Year?
Ah, yes, of course, of course. So during Chinese
Okay.
New Year, we will have our reunion dinner, and
Okay.
then they will get ang pao. Yeah. Then
Okay.
actually this year, yeah. So this year's Chinese New Year, we actually brought my parents to Batam. So we spent our Chinese New Year there. Yeah. So my
Mm.
parents are quite like flexi on. So uh, anything lah. So as long as we spend the Chinese New Year together, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes when they hear me speak Chinese to my parents, then they will try to like chime in, but they cannot really
Okay.
speak lah. Yeah, because
I
their
see. But they
focus
can
is on
understand, I'm sure, right?
by context maybe. Yeah, but I think their Malay and Arabic is stronger than their Chinese. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, do they kiss your parents' hands or your auntie
Oh
and
yeah.
uncle's hands during Chinese New Year?
Yes, yes, yes. So they were salam and of course my parents like it. Yeah, I mean it's a
Oh,
very beautiful and affectionate gesture, right? I think everybody loves it. Yeah.
it is. Oh, so nice. Even your uncles and aunties will feel very happy to see the girls and
Mhm.
offer their hands to kiss. Oh, mashallah, alhamdulillah. Uh, okay. Uh, I don't know. Sometimes, okay, another question. I should have asked this way ahead.
Oh,
But
okay.
okay, so your Chinese name is Jinghan.
Oh.
Your Muslim name is Jihan. Is it
Mhm.
on purpose because you want it to sort of sound similar?
This-
Jinghan, Jihan.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yes, so initially, like I said, I struggled a lot internally. Yeah, this whole conversion to Islam mostly was a battle within myself. Really, nothing external was stopping me. So at that time, I was really afraid of losing my identity. Yeah, so when my in-laws told me that, oh, you have to think of a Muslim name that you would like to adopt, but you don't have to put it in your IC lah. But it's just nice to have a Muslim name. I really wanted to find something that was very, very similar so that I would feel like it wasn't a complete change or shift in my identity, but rather just a small uh, a small change. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that I could have the sense of still be still be the old Jinghan through this new Jihan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it's very conscious. Wow, very nice. Okay, now Jihan,
Mm.
what is before we wrap this up, you have a lot
Mm.
of words of wisdom. And what would be your advice for reverts out there, be it the new ones or our current reverts? What will be your advice for them?
Oh, my advice. Well, this one need to think a bit.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so I
While
feel that
reflecting it.
a lot of people have this misconception that Islam is very restrictive, it's very oppressive, it's very hard, it's very difficult, and Muslims are typically more serious. They can't be happy. And I think that the truth can't be further from that. Yeah. So after I converted to Islam, I became the happiest person in the world. I feel so liberated. I feel as free as a bird and as happy as a lark. And the ease and contentment and the joy that I feel in my heart. I wish I could share it with people out there because I really don't know where I would be, if I didn't have Islam. Yeah. So what I feel is that a lot of people nowadays, they're so sad. And I feel that it is because of, the society telling us to focus on ourselves. It's always about the self. It's always me, 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 my needs, my wants, my entitlements. And it has really made us so miserable. But if you look into psychology, right, like a lot of times, right, what gives people a sense of happiness and a sense of purpose is in serving others. Yeah, in serving the community, in serving your loved ones. And in fact, there has been trials where, like depressed patients have been asked to be involved in community gardens or to volunteer at soup kitchens. And the results of this, right, is far better than, medication, like things like consuming antidepressants. And I feel that fundamentally it's because like our innate nature is actually to serve and to not always think ourselves as the center of our universe, you know. So, I mean, Islam is basically a religion of servitude, right? So
Mhm.
that really makes us, how to say, that really aligns with who we are meant to be. Basically, we are just servants of Allah. And if we would only accept that, then we will be able to find that sense of purpose and that happiness within ourselves. Yeah.
Mm,
So,
I agree.
yeah. So I don't think that Islam is, like make you sad, make you like dreary. But no, actually, I've seen a
Mm.
lot of Muslims who are living their best life, and it's because of this concept of like servitude. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I want to add on because recently we also had a guest. She's a writer,
Okay.
Amira, and she did say that it's nothing about self help. We can never help ourselves. It's always
Mm,
Allah. So you're
yes.
right, and your words resonate with this. So thank you so much, Jinghan, for being with us today. Now, maybe you wanna, in case the listeners are empowered to because they want to convert or because they want to buy sambal petai, how can they
Mm.
reach you?
Oh, so I think I'm mostly on IG. So on
Okay.
IG, I'm none the wiser. Yeah. So over there,
Mhm.
I basically share a lot of reflections lah, basically about my
Mhm.
life as a revert, and also recently my venture into this Sambal Petai HPP. I also have a separate account for my Sambal Petai, and it's called the Petai
Okay.
Convert. Yeah, because I want to convert
Oh,
people to love Petai, and I myself am
okay.
a
I think I'll
convert.
be one. Okay, I'll be one of
Inshallah.
the petai converts, inshallah. Okay, but don't worry, listeners. If you are listening to this, I will provide both Jihan's links, the petai business, as well as her own personal Instagram. So, Jihan, I wish you all the best. And in your life, with regards to your family, may your father find the hidayah, and may your sambal petai business soar even higher. And most importantly, may Allah continue to bless your family and yourself with plenty of abundance.
Inshallah. Amin, amin. And the same for you and more, Kak Nura. Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much. All right. Thank you so much for your time, my love.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Bye.
Bye.